Gianluca Ginoble, a name that melts hearts and commands applause. A man whose voice could make even silence feel like music. But for years, his fans have asked one question over and over again: who holds Gianluca's heart? And now, at 30, the mystery is finally over. Because Gianluca Ginoble has confessed to the love of his life, and it's a story that left millions speechless. It started not with a song, but with a letter. A simple, handwritten note that Gianluca had kept folded inside his journal for years. One day, he once told a close friend, "I'll give it to the person I was always meant to love." Nobody thought that day would ever come, not yet. Not when Il Volo was still touring. Not when his life seemed consumed by music and fame. But one quiet evening in Abruzzo, it did. He posted a photo on his Instagram, no fancy caption, no grand announcement. Just a picture of two hands intertwined under the golden light of sunset. But fans knew. They always knew. The comments flooded in instantly. Gianluca's in love. She's the one. The internet caught fire. But the real story, the truth behind that photo, was even more beautiful. For years, Gianluca had been known as the romantic dreamer of Il Volo, the poet. The one who believed in love songs because he lived them. Yet, behind that charm and elegance, there was a man who guarded his heart with quiet care. Fame had taken much from him: privacy, peace, moments of stillness. But love? That was the one thing he refused to fake. He met her in the simplest way, not in the bright chaos of a concert, but in the soft quiet of a bookstore in Rome. She wasn't a fan, at least not in the beginning. She didn't see Gianluca Ginoble the star. She saw the man reading Neruda poetry in the corner, his brow furrowed, completely unaware of the world around him. She smiled, asked what he was reading, and in that moment, something inside him shifted. He would later say, "It wasn't the way she looked, it was the way she saw me." They spent months talking before anyone knew. Long walks by the river, nights cooking together, hours spent laughing without cameras or crowds. For the first time in years, Gianluca could breathe. She became his quiet, his peace in a world that never stopped spinning. And yet, he kept her away from the spotlight, not out of secrecy, but out of protection. "Some love," he once said, "is too pure to be exposed too soon." But as the years passed, hiding became harder. Rumors swirled, fans speculated, paparazzi tried to guess, and gossip columns wrote endless stories. Gianluca remained silent. Until now. Because now, the truth was too beautiful to hide any longer. At 30, Gianluca Ginoble revealed what so many had wondered for years. In a stunning, emotional post, he shared a photo from their wedding, the two of them standing barefoot by the sea, the waves brushing against their feet, his hand holding hers. The caption was simple: "I waited for you, and I'll keep waiting every day for the rest of my life." The reaction was immediate: tears, joy, disbelief. Fans from all over the world celebrated, sending love and congratulations. "You deserve this happiness," one wrote. "This is the fairy tale ending we've always hoped for you." But for Gianluca, it wasn't an ending. It was a beginning. Behind that perfect photo was a journey of patience, growth, and faith. There were moments of doubt, long months apart when he was on tour, late nights wondering if love could survive the distance. But every time he came home, she was there, waiting, smiling, believing. And when he finally proposed, it wasn't in front of cameras or a crowd. It was under the olive trees in his hometown, where he first learned to sing as a boy. He knelt down, holding her hand, and said, You've been my song all along." Their wedding was intimate, close friends, family, the sound of waves, and music soft enough to let the wind sing. Piero and Ignazio were there, emotional, watching their brother in music find his harmony in love. As Gianluca spoke his vows, his voice trembled, but his words were steady. "I've sung about love all my life," he said, "but today, I finally understand what it means." Later that night, under the soft glow of fairy lights, Gianluca sang to her a song he had written years before they met, never knowing it was always meant for her. She cried, quietly, as his voice carried through the night a melody only they understood. It wasn't a performance, it was a promise, and now the world knows. Gianluca Ginoble, the man whose music defined romance for millions, is living his own love story. One built not on fame or fantasy, but on patience, honesty, and devotion. In every smile, every glance, every photo, you can see it the piece of a man who has finally found home. When asked in a recent interview what love means to him now, Gianluca smiled and said softly, "Love isn't about the big moments, it's about the quiet ones. It's when you wake up next to someone and feel like you're exactly where you're meant to be." The camera fades as his voice echoes in the background, the music swelling softly, a reminder that even the brightest stars are human. That behind every song there's a heart that beats for someone special. The world couldn't stop talking about it. Within hours, the photo of Gianluca Ginoble and his wife by the sea went viral. Every news outlet, from Italy to America, picked up the story, Il Volo's Gianluca Ginoble marries his longtime love. Fans who had followed his journey since he was a boy on stage were crying tears of joy, while others couldn't believe the romantic dreamer had finally found the one who completed his song. But behind all that attention, Gianluca and his wife stayed silent, letting love speak louder than any headline ever could. A few days later, in a quiet interview filmed from his home in Montepagano, Gianluca appeared on camera, relaxed and smiling in a way his fans hadn't seen in years. He spoke softly, his tone sincere. "You know," he began, "people often think love is about perfection, the perfect moment, the perfect person. But real love is about patience. It's about showing up when things aren't perfect." His words carried the weight of experience, the kind of wisdom that only comes from falling deeply, completely, and honestly in love. He continued, "When I met her, I wasn't looking for love. I was looking for peace. I think we all are, in our own way. Fame can make you forget what truly matters. But when she looked at me, she didn't see Il Volo, she saw Gianluca." That single line, "She saw Gianluca," became an instant quote across social media. Fans shared it everywhere, writing things like, "This is what true love sounds like," and "Now I believe in love again." But even as his story went viral, Gianluca didn't share too much. He kept their faces private, never tagging her or revealing her name. When asked why, he simply smiled and said, "Because love deserves privacy. The moment I share too much, it stops being ours." His wife, however, remained his quiet muse. A few weeks after the wedding, Gianluca performed at a private charity concert in Sicily. For the first time since the marriage, he sang a new song, a soft, haunting ballad titled Sempre Te, meaning always you. The lyrics spoke of a love found in silence, of hands that guide and hearts that wait. When the crowd applauded, Gianluca closed his eyes and whispered, "That one was for her." And that's when people realized this wasn't just a new chapter in his life. This was a whole new Gianluca. Gone was the restless young artist chasing perfection. In his place stood a man who finally understood what it meant to love and be loved. His performances grew more emotional, his voice warmer, his eyes softer. Every note carried a story, every pause a heartbeat. It was as though his music had finally found its missing half. Backstage, Piero and Ignazio teased him playfully, calling him the romantic husband. But even they couldn't hide their admiration. "He's never been happier," Ignazio told a reporter, his smile wide. "You can hear it in his voice. He's singing with his heart now." And Piero added, "We've always sung about love, but Gianluca, he's living it." Weeks later, Gianluca surprised everyone again. On a quiet Sunday morning, he shared a black and white video clip, a short, intimate moment of him playing piano at home. The camera shook slightly, as if filmed by someone who couldn't stop smiling. At the end of the video, you could hear a soft laugh, her laugh, followed by his whisper, "You make every song worth singing." Within minutes, the internet exploded. Fans from around the world left messages like, "This is pure love," and "You can hear happiness in his voice." Yet amid the worldwide celebration, Gianluca remained humble. In another heartfelt message to fans, he wrote, "Thank you for sharing this happiness with me. Love is not about finding someone perfect. It's about finding someone who makes you want to be better every day. And if I've learned anything, it's that love isn't a destination. It's a journey, one I'll keep walking hand in hand." As the months went by, Gianluca's life began to blend seamlessly with his art. Il Volo's concerts became more intimate, their performances charged with emotion. When Gianluca sang, his gaze often drifted toward the side of the stage, where a familiar silhouette stood quietly, always watching, always smiling. It was no longer just a performance. It was life itself, turned into music. One evening, during a concert in Verona, he paused before the encore. The audience grew silent. He looked out at the thousands of lights shining from phones and said softly, "When you love someone, you don't need to shout it to the world. You just need to let them feel it." Then he sang Grande Amore, the song that had once defined Il Volo. But this time, every lyric carried a new meaning. It wasn't just a song about love anymore. It was a confession, a memory, a promise.